Welcome back, guys. So we are on the way of discussion of different types of characteristics of a chemical reaction. So in which lesson it is? That is chapter 1, chemical reactions and equations. So we are on the way to discuss different types of characteristics of a chemical reactions. Let's look at them, have a glance, and we move on. Characteristics of a chemical reaction. How to identify a chemical reaction? So in order to identify anyone, you have to be familiar with his characteristics or her characteristics. So like a chemical reaction is also have certain properties. When certain properties are satisfied, we are going to call it as chemical change. So one among them is evolution of gas. If any reaction, if some colored gas or colorless gas is emerging, getting out, then we are going to say some chemical reaction is happening. The second one is change in color. Most of the chemical reactions are going to characterized by change in color of the substance. See, when two chemicals are getting added, what you are looking, some new colored full substances are forming, definitely you can call it is chemical reaction. And other one is change in state of the substance. See, when you are burning crackers, what you are going to left with? You are going to left with some ash. So some solid material changed into some ash-like material. Like when you are burning magnesium, you are going to get some solid crystal, tight crystal into or tight solid into an ash-like substance. Ash-like substance. So such type of change in state is also is one of the form of chemical change. Next one is evolution of heat or change in temperature. If you burn matchstick and keep in your hand, what is going to happen? It's going to burn your hand. When you are having fever, your body temperature is going to rise from 37 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. So that is one of the characteristics of a chemical reaction. So evolution of heat, change in temperature. If you are mixing two chemicals in a beaker, if you touch it with your hand, if you are experiencing any hot or cold, that is maybe the one of the characteristics of a chemical reaction. For example, in our home, try to dissolve glucose in water. When you try to dissolve glucose in water, when you touch it with your hand, what sense you are feeling, please observe it and note it down in your notebook. Then fifth characteristic is formation of precipitates. What is formation of precipitate? What is formation of precipitate? So when you look at the formation of precipitate, insoluble substance, insoluble solid is named as PPT, precipitate. Shortcut form is PPT for precipitate. When you are mixing two chemicals, when you got some insoluble solid, that is called precipitate. So there are 5 characteristics: evolution of gas, change in color of the substance, change in state of the substance, change in temperature or evolution of heat, formation of precipitates. These are the 5 characteristics of any chemical change where you have to keep in mind what are the characteristics of a chemical reaction. Like that they can ask the question. So move on to the next slide. What is there you can look at. Sometimes used in chemical reactions. What are sometimes used in chemical reactions? Reactants. The starting materials of the reaction are called as reactants. So you should be familiar with these words. Products. The ending materials of the reaction are called as products, are stated as products. So starting materials are reactants. We are going to represent that reactants by R. We are going to represent those products as P. Then arrow mark. So from reactants to product, we are going to represent by some symbolic equation, that is arrow marks, means the direction of change. Arrow mark is going to tell you the direction of change. And there are different types of arrow marks for different types of changes. In physical changes and chemical changes, I used two terms. Physical change is reversible, means reactants can be changed into R, can be changed into products, and P can be changed into R. So reactants can be converted into products. Products can be converted into reactants. Such type of processes are called reversible processes. What are irreversible processes? Once the reactant converted into products, you cannot get back the reactants. So this is irreversible, this is reversible. So types of arrow marks. We will look at the types of arrow marks. Forward arrow for irreversible reactions. We are going to use this forward arrow, means once the reactants converted into products, you cannot change them back. Then we are going to use a single side arrow mark. So this arrow mark is always used only for irreversible changes. Then reversible arrow. Reversible arrow means both the sides of arrow marks are there. Means for physical changes you can use. This is for physical changes. This is for chemical changes. Of course, some chemical changes are also reversible. We will learn about them in our 11th class. Then reaction conditions, like boiling of rice is going to happen at some temperature. Boiling of curry is going to happen at some temperature. Like you need some temperature change and some other characteristics. So you need to specify those conditions: temperature, pressure, catalyst. When sometimes you need light, sometimes you need heat. Those conditions are necessary. Those required conditions are going to be put on the arrow mark. So you are going to put those conditions on the arrow mark. Like when you are supplying heat, the symbol is delta. Symbol is delta. When you are supplying light, the symbol is h nu. Nu means frequency. So like that, we are going to say some set of conditions for a particular reaction to happen. So such conditions should be represented on the arrow marks. Let's move on. Sometimes used in the chemical reactions further, standard states of the substances. This is most important. Always when you are taking starting materials, the starting material will be solid, liquid, gas. When you are getting final material, that final material may also solid, liquid, gas. So what you are taking, are you taking solid, are you taking liquid, are you taking gas? What you are getting, are you getting liquid, solution, gas? Those states should be represented near the materials you are getting. Solids are represented by S, liquids are represented by L, gases are represented by G, and solutions. Sometimes what you are going to change? You are going to use solutions. What are solutions? Solutions is the combination of two or more materials. When you are mixing solid in water, you cannot simply call it as liquid. You are going to call it as a solution. When you are adding sodium chloride, suppose you are adding sodium chloride you added plus water, you are going to get salt water. When you are getting the salt water is called as solution. So in what case, in water we mixed the sodium chloride. So these solutions are named as aqueous solutions. Aqueous, A-Q-U-E-O-U-S, aqueous solutions. When you are using these aqueous solutions, we are going to use the term AQ. You are going to use the term AQ. Okay, so what types of chemical substances we use? What are their physical states? Is it a solution, gas, or liquid, solid? Solids, liquid, gases are used for pure substances. Okay, let's move on. Writing the chemical equations. How to write the chemical equation? What is chemical equation then? Symbolic representation of a chemical reaction in terms of their chemical formulae is said to be a chemical equation. Earlier I told you cannot write the paragraphs for a reaction to explain. So we are going to represent in terms of a mathematical equation using some arrow marks, using some chemical formulae. That symbolic representation we are going to call it as chemical equation. General representation of a chemical equation. Let us look at reactants on the left side. Reactants, as they subscript their physical state, means like solid, liquid, gas, aqueous for aqueous or water solutions. And right side, on the head side, we are going to write products. On the tail side, you are going to write reactants. On the head side, you are going to write products. So reactants giving rise to, what is the meaning of arrow mark? Giving rise to products. So that arrow, the meaning of that arrow mark is giving rise to. Then reaction conditions on the arrow mark. Under what conditions this set of starting materials on the left is getting converted into products. Writing a chemical equation involves 3 steps. So chemical equation, first you should know the word equation. Then step 2, converting that word equation into symbolic equations. Word equation, symbolic equation. If I say sodium chloride, in order to write a equation, we should know what is the formula of sodium chloride. Sodium Na, chloride Cl. Sodium chloride means NaCl. Like that, we need to convert that word equation into symbolic equations. Then third one, balancing the symbolic equation. Okay, so first for that chemical change, you have to write that chemical change in the form of words. That words should be converted into equation form. That equation form should be balanced. What is that balancing and etc. Let's move on. Illustration, let us look at. Write the equation when hydrogen reacts with chlorine to give hydrogen chloride. Write the equation when hydrogen reacts with chlorine to give hydrogen chloride. Means hydrogen combines with chlorine. Whenever you are saying combine, you have to use plus symbol between those terms. So what is thought process? See, this guy is telling to you thought process. First write the word equation. So we have to write the word equation. In second step, write the chemical formula of each species. And third step, the number of atoms on the left hand side should be equal to number of atoms on the right hand side. That's called balanced equation. Each atoms of means elements, each atoms of each element should be same on left hand side and right hand side. Let's look at, write the word equation. Hydrogen combines with chlorine. So hydrogen plus chlorine gives rise to hydrogen chloride. This is word equation. What is the formula of hydrogen? H. Everybody is going to take H. But how hydrogen is going to exist? Hydrogen is going to exist in their standard forms. You have to use standard forms. Means at what forms they are existing. Hydrogen is always going to exist in the form of H2 molecules. Chlorine is always going to exist in the form of Cl2 molecules. Don't misinterpret like hydrogen means H, chlorine means Cl. Hydrogen, H is a symbol. Chlorine, Cl is a symbol. It doesn't mean that chlorine is existing as a Cl, hydrogen is existing as a H2. Doesn't mean. Hydrogen chloride. What is the formula of hydrogen chloride? HCl. Now write the symbolic equation with the standard states. So hydrogen is going to exist in the form of H2, chlorine is going to exist in the form of Cl2, and the hydrogen chloride formula is HCl. So if we closely encounter a left hand side of the equation and right hand side of the equation, in left hand side hydrogens are how many? 2, chlorines are how many? 2. On the right hand side hydrogen is equal to 1, chlorine is equal to 1. So you cannot tell it's a balanced equation. The equation should be balanced. So means what is the balanced equation? The number of atoms of each element on the left hand side should be equal to the number of atoms on the right side. The number of atoms of each element on the LHS should be equal to the number of atoms of each element on the RHS. That is called balanced equation. So simply balance the equation. I am telling directly equation. Here H2 plus Cl2, 2 H atoms on the LHS, 2 chlorine atom on the LHS, 1 HCl molecule on the RHS. What I will simply do? I will multiply HCl with 2. Then what I would get? Simply I would get 2 hydrogen atoms on the right hand side. So 2 hydrogen atoms on the left hand side. Balanced. 2 chlorine atoms on the right hand side. So 2 chlorine atoms on the left hand side. So simply it's a balanced equation. We will further discuss what is there in the balancing. Just these are illustrations. See, reaction of aluminum with oxygen. You have to remember the products. The reactants would not tell you I am giving this product. Some reactions you should keep in mind, like hydrogen combines with chlorine gives hydrogen chloride. When aluminum combines with oxygen, it is going to give aluminum oxide. The name for aluminum oxide is also alumina. Now what is the formula of aluminum? Al. What is the formula of oxygen? Standard states you have to tell. Not O. O is the symbol of oxygen, not the standard state of oxygen. In general, oxygen is going to exist as O2. Next, the balanced equation is 4Al plus 3O2 gives rise to 2L2O3. See, this is aluminum oxide. Al plus 3O2 are named as reactants. 2Al2O3 is going to be called as products. The letters solid S, G, L are in brackets is going to represent the physical states of the compounds. The number 4, 3, 2 are going to represent stoichiometric coefficients in the balanced equation. Simply they are coefficients in the balanced equation. So other examples, simply please look at these examples. We will discuss the balancing equations in next session. Okay, thank you.